guys, welcome back to December Daily. This is my 2015 album. I have a mini series going on right now on my YouTube channel going over the last couple of days of my December Daily album, and this is day 20. I don't have all the days, but I do have about 4 or so days that I would like to share with you right before we start our December 2016 album. So I'm pretty excited about the album this year. I am doing something just a little bit different, going a little bit more simple possibly. We'll see how it goes once I start, but I wanted to show you the last couple of pages of my previous album to kind of get us in the spirit of doing December Daily and such. So what I'm doing here is I'm working on this one 3x4 card. It has the number 13, I believe, on it, but it is not the 13th day. So I basically am trying to take some of the die cuts that I have left over and add them and layer them on top of the number 13, so I can still use the music notes on the card, but I can cover up the day because it's day 20 now. And this is a good way to use up your stash too. Don't feel like because it has the number 13 or a different number on it that you can't use the card. Just see what you have in your pile of goodies that you can cover up those things that you don't necessarily want to see, but still be able to use the paper that you have and not feel like you're wasting them. So I am just working on this card. I finally figured out a good configuration for my die cuts, and I am going to pop a couple of the pieces up with some foam tape. And this is just, or not foam tape, but just foam. This is fun foam that I picked up at Michael's for 40% off. So it was end up being like $6 if that. And it was a huge pack. So I'm just putting a bunch of that little foam on the back of this and then adding some glue. I'm not exactly sure why I felt the need to add the regular glue tape and the liquid glue, but hey, it works. So I'm just going to add more of this dot adhesive here to the cluster, and then I'm going to glue this whole little thing down, covering up that number 13. So it worked out perfectly. I'm also going to add a little bit of glue to this little chipboard star, and that little card I believe is done. I may put a phrase sticker on here. Nope, maybe not. I am just going to finish this up. Now I am putting some embellishments in the top right of the page, and this is a picture of me and my daughter playing with Christmas cookies, and the snowflake is something that I stamped onto vellum with a snowflake stamp and Versamark ink, and then use my red glitter embossing powder. And then I'm adding the little chipboard cookie jar because that's what we were making, is cookies. This joy, I didn't like how it looked square, so I'm just going to fussy cut out the word joy, and then I'm going to kind of play around and try to figure out where on the page it's going to look nice. I wanted to put it up here in the top picture, but I ended up not liking how it was looking, so I'm going to end up moving it at the end over to this bottom left picture. So I'm going to fuss with this a little bit before I'm happy with it, and I'm just going to glue that down there on top of the snowflake and then trim off that excess, and then the joy is going to go down there. And I wanted to anchor it with this washi tape. It's just kind of a red star washi tape, but I didn't like how that looked. I'm going to play with it a little bit, and then I'm going to ultimately not put the washi tape down because I just didn't like how it was looking on the page, and I just kept the joy by itself right there. There's some blank space kind of in the bottom right. That picture of my daughter is her with her black jeans on, and she is covered in flour because we were making sugar cookies. So she had flour on her face, on her pants, on her shirt, everywhere. So it was a lot of fun actually. So now I'm just cutting out a flag. I just needed a place to do some journaling, and I'm going to trim that up and then add my journaling here. And then that will go on the bottom of that card. So this page is done. I'm going to show you, or sorry, I'm going to add some more stickers. So yes, I am going to add a phrase sticker. I'm going to flag that again just to mimic the flag that I have on the bottom. And I'm just looking to see if there's anything else I want to add. And I think I'm going to ultimately pick something off this sticker sheet. The only thing I don't like about these sticker sheets and these word phrases is that you always see like the edges of the colors from the other stickers, and that's just really annoying. But so I just trim them off. It's not too big of a deal, but I just wish that they would be cut a little bit better so that you wouldn't see that extra color on there. And I'm going to add that, and instead of using the washi tape, I think that grounds it, which meaning the word grounds it very well, and I like how that turned out. So now I'm just looking through some stickers and trying to figure out what I want to do, and I decide that I'm going to add the word tradition here, and it's always a tradition to make Christmas cookies, and I wasn't sure about the lining of the words, so I'm going to kind of put my 3x4 card up here on the sticker sheet, and I'm going to kind of use that to guide where I need to place the letter. Or sorry, together. I said tradition, but I meant together. And that worked out perfectly. So that's kind of a little tip. If you're not exactly sure about spacing, and if they're these box letters or these square letters, then you can kind of put the picture on top of those and kind of know where it's going to line up by counting, and then just place them that way, and then you can get them very nice and centered. So I added Be Merry up there in the top left. And I'm just still looking at the sticker sheet trying to figure out if there's anything else I want to add. And I've decided that was good. And I'm happy with how this looks. And here are the close-ups. Now I'm going to be working on this piece right here. This is something that I ran through my printer. These are the Christmas cookies or the sugar cookies that we made and iced ourselves. So I just ran the vellum through my printer and printed this on, and I am just going to be trimming it out so that it fits in the page protector, and it's basically just a divider, or not in the page protector but in the binder. So I punched those holes, and it's just going to be a page that you can flip, and it's going to be just like that. I'm not going to do anything else to it. I kind of liked how that looked. So now I'm working on this other sheet here, and then this cut apart sheet happened to have these two 4x6 cards on them, and normally you would cut these apart, but I ended up just using it as it is. I mean, I am covering up most of the stuff on the cut apart sheet, but it was a nice base to be able to add these cards on, and I liked how it looked when I trimmed the cards a little bit. It kind of put a little bit of a border around the cards, and I just kept it like that. I thought that was a good way to use up some papers that I really wasn't as excited about, and it gave me a good base to put these on. So I'm taking this doily and I fussy cut out the heart. I'm going to glue that heart to the doily, and that's a picture of my daughter with the sugar cookies that we cut all out, and then the top is a picture of my mom and my daughter making cookies. I'm going to add this little phrase sticker. And I really like this heart that kind of looks holographic. I think that was pretty cool. I like those elements that came in this particular collection. It was just really neat how they had a little bit of extra. It wasn't like a glitter sparkle, but it was kind of more of a shimmer, and I like that. So I just added that word phrase that said tradition, and I'm going to trim out Christmas, again just getting off those borders that had the colors from the other stickers on them. I'm going to add that to the doily as well. And these are just doilies that I had in my stash. I think I got them a long time ago. I can't remember if I've had them for a long time or if they were something I got recently, but I know I had a stash of doilies that were from like when I was a kid. So now I'm going to be working on the top part of the photo, and it is day 20, so I am going to be adding a little bit of embellishment to this particular card, and I'm going to put the sticker that says Be Bright. And then I wanted to add a little bit of stamping. I thought the top of that card was a little bit plain, and I didn't want to leave it that way. So I'm going to take this Ellie Edwards stamp, and I am going to stamp it in Versamark ink, or no, I'm sorry, in red ink and Versamark ink, I think, because I was going to try to do, yes, that's what I was going to do. So instead of just using the silver, I wanted to do red. So I'm stamping with this red Stampin' Up ink on the vellum, and because I'm doing it on vellum, it does stay wet for just a little bit. So if you're really quick, what you can do is you stamp on the vellum with the ink, and then you quickly put on the embossing powder. So I'm going to be using clear embossing powder, and then what that does is it makes your embossing powder that's clear look red. And then that's a good way to extend your stuff that you have as well. So if you don't have all the rainbow colors of embossing powder, if you have the ink, you can ink up that with the color that you choose and then put the clear on top of it. And it worked out really well. I like how it turned out. It's not quite as opaque, I guess, if you want to call it that, if you had the embossing powder that was red, but I just really like how it turns out. And it, like I said, it's a way to extend your stash and not have to buy a bazillion different colors of embossing powder. The other option is if you are going to be using more of a paper, and if you have a MISTI, that's that one stamp placement tool. If you have a MISTI, you can stamp with your color first, and then you can use your MISTI and stamp with the Versamark on top of it, and then you can emboss it too. So if you have paper where the ink soaks in really quickly and it doesn't stay wet long enough, that's a good way to do that too. So if you guys have not used the MISTI, it's a pretty cool tool. I actually don't have one, but but I know it would be good for this kind of application. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely check that out. And then, like I said, you can really extend your stash. Plus the Misty tool is cool for just repositioning stamps and stuff. If you have an ink that, say, the stamp didn't do a very good image, you can use the Misty tool and then re-stamp without having to worry about having your lines not matching up. So anyway, that's a little plug for the Misty tool. I do not have one, unfortunately, but it seems to be a pretty cool tool that I would probably recommend, and I've heard a lot of people recommend it. So I've cut a flag shape out of the banner here, and I'm adding that little brad. It's one of those self-adhesive brads, and that's kind of where I put my adhesive because I didn't want that vellum or the adhesive showing through. And then I'm going to go through this little pot of silver sequins and then add that kind of randomly all over the page. And once I get done with that, this layout is done for day 20. I will have some still shots at the end. If you have any questions about anything that I've done today, just leave those in the comments below. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe. Stay tuned for some more December daily videos from 2015 coming up tomorrow. I'll have another one up on my channel and you can see that. And I will have at least one more, I think, after that. So I think in this series will be at least 4. So thank you guys for joining me, and I will talk to you guys again very soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.